Kings FM. Truth on the air, in a mess. From Morovia Street to the village's bar, we're speaking the truth, no matter who you are. Facing issues, the future is now, not stories of old. We teach a light on Kings and by making voices be heard. Every question counts, every single word. Evening light breaking, people tuning in. Different voices calling, let the talk begin. From corruption talk to the people that cry. Asking real questions like why? Community voices, youth them rising strong. Mama them calling, saying things been wrong. We need solution, not every talk. Time to fix the system, time to take a walk. No fear, no favor. We're speaking it clear. The truth might be bitter, but the people must hear. From county to county, the message goes spread. Better Liberia, that's the road ahead. Issues, no hiding nothing. Truth on the airwaves, calling us citizens. From Liberia, villages far. We're speaking the truth, no matter who you are. Face the issues, stand up, people. The future is now, not stories of old. We teach a light on the radio, making voices be heard. Every question counts, every single word. Politicians talk, but the people want proof. No more empty promise, we dey binding truth. Every message on give jobs for the youth. Let the leaders answer, let them show the truth. From the 15 counties, every citizen matter, no one escape. This now we country, we all gotta say, face the issues now, no delay. Talk your mind, stand your ground. Let the truth come out loud, let it shake the town. Face the issues, no more silence. We bury our rising, making it proud. Call in, speak up, your voice matters. This is more than a show. It's a movement. When Liberians are desperate for leadership to deliver, desperate to know the truth, and desperate to know the real issues confronting the country.
The thing that will see this election will not lie, because if you do it, it's the end of this country.
Well, the government, all the ministers in the government, they lie. They don't put also everything they say. They don't say the truth.
The people of Liberia, if you allow the opposition to win, you will suffer. The Liberians will suffer.
And the facts surrounding those issues, there is only one forum that provides the answer. Is Face the Issue on Kings FM. John Anthony April Godson Williams, commonly known as Teacher Live, from Monday to Friday, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. for the most analytical and most stimulating conversation training for the day.
That's the funny thing about Unity Park. In a football game, if we were playing a tournament, beat us today, and we drop out of the tournament. Our focus now is not the tournament again. Unity Party get their opponent, the Liberian people, they lead the Liberian people, then they come back to their team, that they defeated. Everyone said that they put a crack away. You know, but what I sense, so.
On Face the Issue, we speak out the fact in advocating for the right of Liberia. Face the Issue brings you logic, explain logic, and advance you to discuss with logic. It's Face the Issue. Comes on your airway from Monday to Friday, at 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. on Kings FM 88.5. Don't miss it.
We are seeing a systematic erosion of democracy. Executive overreach and open disregard for our constitution. Lawlessness in the legislature, with the presidency turning a blind eye, even when the assembly hall of our democracy go up in flames. Security forces brutalizing peaceful citizens. Yeah. While millions have been spent on so-called operations that offer no protection to ordinary Liberians. They said we were the problem, but now the Liberian people can see for themselves. The real problem is the unity party that is now in power. The time has come to speak the truth without fear. This government is failing and Liberia is paying the price. For seditions, let us not lose hope. Even the longest night must give way to daylight. Even the strongest storm must pass. We are still standing and we are still strong. We will not give up on Liberia. We will not give up on our people. And we will never give up on CDC. We are the party of the slums and the city. We are the voice of the voiceless. We are the protectors of the poor and the defender of their dreams. From New Town to Peaceville, from Buchanan to Bond Mines, from Sunny Quarter to Southtown, the CDC remains in the hearts of the people. This rally is a clear sign. We are reorganizing, we are preparing, we are coming back. I say to you, we are coming back. But in order to do that, we must build a strong, together we must fortify the one institution that can correct the failure of the Buaka administration. And that institution is the Mate Coalition for Democratic Change. This is why I call on all of you today, not just to believe, but to act. Not just to hope, but to build. Let us invest in the movement that has invested in you. Let us pay our due so that the party remains financially and politically prepared. Your dues are more than money. They are a seed of commitment, a pledge of loyalty, and a symbol of hope. I'm so proud to launch this due payment campaign today because it means that you, the grassroots, you, the real owner of this party, are ready to step forward, take charge, and prepare for the future. As your political leader, I promise you this: we will not rest, we will not retreat, we will organize, mobilize, and energize until we reclaim the leadership of Liberia. But let's do it the CDC way, peacefully, lawfully, strategically, and respectfully. Because when our time comes, and it will come, believe me, we must be ready not just to win, but to govern better. We must correct the wrongs, improve the system, and restore the dignity of the Liberian people. So let us unite, let us rise, let us believe, and let us build. And to all our young people, I say, stay focused, stay clean, stay strong. To our women, you are the backbone of this movement. Keep rising. To our elders, your wisdom is still needed. Stay with us. And to our opponents, we see the failure and we are coming to face it. Again, as the great Nelson Mandela said in a quote, it always seems impossible until it is done. Unquote. The party is alive, strong and mighty. The revolution shall continue. A belief we will uphold to death. The future is not beyond us. The future is still ahead. And together we will get there. And so I want to close with this advice. Wait well. Liberia and Liberians will call on you again. And therefore, be prepared to win again and lead again. Remember, we are the common people. So let us all unite for the betterment of our country and our people.
The Bwaka, we used to go to him, even fee Bwaka because of his title. Make it comfortable because of a title. But you see what he's doing? You get a lot of gangsters around here and thinking that Liberia is afraid of gangsters. It's a lie.
But you should be concerned as well. Why it is true that you're in opposition, you should be concerned. You also have a responsibility to maintain the peace of the country. Though the burden has shifted on the government to maintain the peace.
I've always kept the peace of the Republic of Liberia.
Okay.
During Ellen time, I've kept the peace. During President Dota, I kept the peace. Amos Sawyer time, I kept the peace. Charles Taylor time, I kept the peace. I have never broken anything in this country. I work for peace in our country, and I'm on record. Even the United Nations know that I work for peace. So I'm not trying to break the peace. What I'm telling you that those people that say they came to rescue us, they are breaking the laws of the Republic, and it is wrong. If you can't see it, AB, it is wrong. It is wrong. Because in the government that I serve, any position was respected. Today, you can say that you're taking the person off because he associated with somebody. No, but you see, we are different. The respect I have for Ellen Johnson, I kept that respect. And the respect I kept for her, to respect the laws of the Republic. I even work with Ellen Johnson as a peace ambassador. I don't have a issue of keeping the peace of the country. Of course, we are peaceful. But we will not allow people to break our laws and then intimidate people and we just sit. That would never happen. You know, we're in opposition. Ellen Johnson, Madam Ellen Johnson said, let me give her the respect because that's somebody that I respect so much. She did some things that we disagree and we went to her and spoke to her. By the rule of law, you know, we have the right to protest and we protest. We went to Ellen and she understood that. She came on the table and we talked.
We have identified records at a particular time we should come. And while on our way, we have reached out to take us before somewhere in there to communicate before the station room or which is right in the chat of the situation. All the way in the professional investigation, when you're calling the party, you're calling the common official, you're calling people, give deference and respect to them. You know, I got to say, you are not prepared for us and you want to tell us. And so I know it is an attempt to just demoralize the whole finance of keeping us that you're working the wrong way or working with, and when you're ready to find it, going back, if the chairman is ready this time, he will write on it, and when he does that, this time we come again, he does the same thing, and they are not, in fact, taking us to the investigation with the hospital.
This is a witch hunt. This is a witch hunt. We cannot change the laws because of Samuel 12. We can't do that. The country will stay. We will go. We need to be reminded by history. There were powerful people in this country. Some of us who were young, little bit older in age, in the 80s, we saw people, men that we saw in this town. Certain time came, we saw them that they were people who have never served government before. Government will come and government will go, but this is the law. We can't change the law. This is a witch hunt. Imagine, immediately after the verdict, the next day we receive a call and a letter, summary, the former finance minister for another criminal investigation. You don't have to be a politician or a political scientist to understand that this is not a witch hunt. This is witch hunt. This is witch hunt. If I were a prosecutor, I would not issue that kind of assignment or request. But this is witch hunt. And we listen to some practitioners, even are inviting the finance minister. They say, even if you get the authorized the money to go to somebody, spending agency, your duty is to follow up with that spending agency and ask them how they spend the money. Is that the authority under the PFM law of the Minister of Finance? No. The Minister of Finance, his authority is to spend the money, and when he's spending the money, he must have the authorized authority. Who is responsible? The spending agency will account for how they spend the money. That's why we'll have the GAC to conduct audit. So this is witch hunt. So when somebody tells me that because the finance minister authorized expenditure and you are going to make a follow-up, you kidding me? The finance minister of the country? But this is not good for our democracy. For those who don't know, some who are actors in our body politics, some of them were not here when we're in a conflict. Nobody prays for conflict in this country. They always say it. I want our country peaceful. But the point is, we are thinking that we must not repeat the history, the wrongs of the past. The people who repeat the wrong of the past that caused them the problem, they are people who are ignorant. And many actors, some of them were even sucking breast when we're in the dilemma of the 14 years. So they did not understand the 14 years from 1990 to present, the dilemma, the catastrophe that we experienced. Some of the very people who are all around insulting people when you speak as a Liberian, where you are a citizen and it's your right to speak, some of them were even sucking breast milk. They never knew what happened here. So when you say something, instead of them to listen and learn, they refuse. But history tells us that history is a raw material for political science. Political actors must be people who must digest history. Because if you don't understand your history, when you're making political decisions, you have problems in your public policy decisions. So to be a public policy administrator, you must be somebody who understands the raw material for political science. And that raw material is history. And so you must know what went wrong. Where are we? Where do we intend to go? This decision is a revisitation of the factors of the dark ages of Liberia. And this is wrong. To weaponize a legal process simply because of a political agenda is counterproductive to the future of our country. People are following us. International actors are following us. Some people are operating, they don't understand. Why will you leave from here now? You start pressurizing people who are served at zero. You go and go do something. You go rest something. You make sure you allow the person in. What is that? What is that? That this process is illegal. Samuel 12 is a free man. The fact that the brother speaks to it. And the jury returned that day with a not guilty verdict. And the judge himself in open leave from the personal bench and wow, you are a free man. Samuel 12 is a free man, along with Moses Cooper. And when we told the jurors that day in the final argument that today we start at the beginning of the documentation of the check and balance of our democracy to determine whether or not we go back or we retrospect or regress to our dark days, or you put in a check and balance on powerful power, a powerful executive that will manipulate a political process under the disguise of legal proceedings. And we told them that when you make that decision to free the defendants, you will know when you walk out there, the country will be rejoicing even up into the money, and it came to pass. This is a joke. This is history. We call it the opportunity of history unfolding itself. The jury has spoken. The people have spoken. There can be no whims and caprices, naked brute forces that can overturn, or divert the decision of the unanimous, of the voluntary verdict returned by the.
Let me make something very quick and clear.
The last time the Solicitor General came here and told you people that the defendants in this case have confessed to the crime, that is a lie. It's not true. No one confessed to a crime. There is a difference between confession to criminality, and making a point. Confession to the crime means the man is admitting to the crimes in the indictment that he committed the offense. That is not the case. What happened in this case is that there is a statutory function, or there were statutory functions that were carried out by the former Minister of Finance. That is under section 14.2 of the Public Finance Law. The law says that the Minister of Finance has the authority, statutory authority, to authorize payments that have of the branches of government within the budget, or authorized within the budgetary laws of Liberia. And that is exactly what the Minister of Finance have done. And that payment was made to the appropriate administrative agency that was authorized at the level of the National Security Council by the President of Liberia at the time, His Excellency George Manawia. And so on the basis of this, no one should criminalize when the Solicitor General comes out and says that was confession. That's not confession. Confession is all of the allegations that have been made. Yes, we agree, we the one committed. No, there was no crime here. There was a statutory function that was carried out, and it had been criminalized. So we want to make that clear. If the Solicitor General, what he said the last time, that the defendants are confessed to the crime, then why are we selecting jurors? So that is to tell you that what the Justice Minister was intending to do at the time, we call it trial by TV and trial by Facebook. The perception is to get the perception of the sentiments of potential jurors who will be coming to come with the cloud of the mind to say that if you the people are confessed to the crime. There is no confession to crime. If there were confession to crime, we not select jurors. Today, there will be a date of sentencing. So that's not true. There was no criminality, and we still want to reiterate that the action of these defendants was a national action. The actions of the defendants were national security actions and responsibilities that were carried out. Those actions that were carried out were statutory functions that were responsible to keep the stability of this country during the period of the elections. The peace we enjoy today was based on the statutory expression of the mandate of the finance minister being authorized by the National Security Council, which exists within the office of the president. As the character wanted to bring forth on the petition of writ of prohibition to prohibit the conduct of the judge. That does not mean we are discrediting the judge. No. First, we want to appreciate him, the manner and form he conducted the trial. This was a seriously, legally charged and intellectually engaging trial that he was able to manage it by the techniques and tactics of courtroom management to the extent that the case ended. To see the judge now, that we know will honor the caliber of lawyers that were before him, including a former associate squad was a lawyer before him to conduct that trial in the manner and form for us to reach to the conclusion of that case against herself. But this post-disbandment of the jury investigation is ultra-virus, is illegal, is in violation of the law. And we don't want to believe that it is the judge that we know in the case. So that is what we have done today. There is a petition that has been found today. There is a stay order on that investigation. We will go to the report. We have the laws in our country. The laws are there. We want to inform you, we're not inviting to employ any decision, but to inform you as to the development down in our country. The next thing is this. These three jurors were asked, is this your verdict?
So, okay, folks, what a wonderful way to say good. That's good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending your location. We are grateful again to be here this evening to talk more about our country, Liberia. You know, Liberia is should I say it's getting, or it is already? It's not getting fired. Liberia is already interesting. Liberia is an interesting country. Too many things happening in the country. Yes. Too many things happening in the country. But this too is Liberia. This is certainly our country, and we can't give up. That's why we need to keep fighting. Like we always say, let's keep fighting for this country. This country belongs to all of us. If this country should move forward, should progress, it means we have to do it together. It requires all of us efforts, right? Collective efforts to make sure we move this country forward. That's the only way. We can't sit supinely and see things happening in the country, and we don't want to take action or actions towards those things that are happening in the country. And we want to shift blame, and it's, because that's what's going to happen. Because if you are not taking action as to what's happening in the country, the next thing you are going to be doing is to be shifting blames. Yeah. Oh, who is responsible? It is this party, it is that person, it is A, party B responsible. All of these things that are happening in the country. No, this is not time to shift blame. It is time to take responsibility. Everything that is happening in the country now, we should be able to take responsibility. That's the only thing I can say. We should be able to take responsibility of all of what's happening in the country. Huh? Extrajudicial killings, the rule of law has been broken, is no longer respected, and all of that. Too many things happen in the country. And we'll be seeing all the issue about the drug issue, and that's the talk of the town we fight. Yes. The issue about drugs in the country. It's on, let me say this, it's on an industrial scale in fact. Yeah, very huge. On an industrial level. It is on an industrial level issue about drugs in this country. And we're seeing people, the government says they are fighting drugs, but it is selective. From all indications, it's selective because they are arresting few people, incarcerating them, while others are still passing, languishing order, and nothing is being done. And to have those people. That's why most people are saying it is why selective, because selective justice is not good. It's not good. Because if the justice of the country or the justice system of the country is selective when it comes to dispensing justice, then it becomes a problem. Like the same thing we were saying last time, because most people now will not want to trust the justice system on the basis of being selective. That's why we prayed for the law should be the law, and the law should take its course. In that same vein, we are saying that everything should go the way it's supposed to go. Everything when it comes to the justice system should speak to legality, should speak to due process. It shouldn't be because it's Newton, then because Newton, I shouldn't have justice, or I should not be, served justice on the basis of my political affiliation. Which party he represents? Where does it come from? Which university he attended? Where did he graduate? No, that's not justice. It doesn't matter your status in society. It doesn't matter the political party. It doesn't matter your religious background. Justice should be justice. And justice, that's why we have said consistently that justice must not only be done, but justice must be seen to be done. So how you doing? I guess you guys are doing so great. Sorry, Teacher Lai will not be here with us. Last night, I think we informed you that Teacher Lai is bereaved. He lost his uncle. Yes, his uncle passed last night. It's so immediate, and on the basis of that, he will have to need time. He needs time to sit with the family, the rest of the family. They need to have some family engagements and all of that in relation to the bereavement and all of that. I'm sure he's busy right now with those issues. Yeah, in relation to their bereavement now, the Williams family bereavement. So our DPS condolences again to the Williams family for the loss of their father, the uncle, brother, who passed last evening. So once again, want to extend our profound, regret, for the loss of their uncle. Having said that, we move on quickly. As you may be aware, too many things happening in the country, and the president, His Excellency Joseph Boakai, just addressed the nation. We are going to be looking at that. What did the president say? I want to get that speed, but I'm struggling to get the recording. I don't know
Only the rating speed. I think someone just forwarded that to me. But yeah, but we'll look at it. So I will read it out for you, and we'll look at what the president wrote here. Yeah, so we will definitely look at that, and we will analyze that as well. And we also follow, I think today, the Nimba County Senator Samuel Koga was at Zio, right? On Kerry Street, right? Yeah, an intellectual forum there on Kerry Street. He went there today to speak to some, young people at the intellectual center on Kerry Street, Zio. Yeah, I think that's the name. That's the right pronunciation, Zio, on Kerry Street. Yeah, that's one of the famous, intellectual forums around town. So, and that's where, most of the government officials, they go sometimes to discuss some national issues and what have you. So Samuel Koga had gone there today to meet scores of young people who are always there because they are always gathered there, awaiting different speakers to go and speak with them. He went there today to speak to some national issues, and everything everything is just about the whole drugs, saga in the country. This whole drugs issue, everybody talking it, everybody saying it, everybody saying it. Yeah, everybody discussing it. But just people who go to that Koga, I will play you the video. Some of those things that Samuel Koga said today at the intellectual forum in relation to the very happenings in the country. But we'll come to that. But we want to peruse the president's statement. We want to peruse the president's statement. What did he say yesterday evening? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what there's a recalling to this. I really don't know. But let me read out this for you so you can get. Yeah, it says special address by His Excellency Joseph Nimabwaka, Senior President of the Republic of Liberia, on the fight against illicit drug trafficking in the country. Wednesday, August 26, 2026. Fellow Liberians, I come to you this evening to reaffirm our solemn commitment. This administration will enforce the law without fear or favor while protecting the constitutional rights of every person. Over the past several days, developments in our country have sparked public discussion, concern, and in some cases, misinformation. As president, I believe it is my duty to speak directly to you after reassurance and make clear that justice must be pursued firmly, fairly, and independently. When you entrusted me with the leadership of this country, you did so with a clear expectation that I will uphold the Constitution, govern with integrity, strengthen our institutions, and ensure that no one is above the law. Liberia faces serious challenges, but we are making deliberate progress through the IRS agenda for inclusive development. Yet, none of our work in the economy, education, infrastructure, or public institutions can succeed unless it is anchored in one fundamental principle, the rule of law. One of the greatest threats facing our nation is the growing menace of illicit drugs and organized crime. Drugs are destroying young lives, weakening families, fueling violence, and threatening our country's future. Let me re-echo here that it is not simply a law enforcement issue, it is a national security and moral issue. Consistent with our pledge, my administration has intensified the fight against narcotics trafficking, money laundering, and organized crime. Our security institutions have been directed to act professionally, independently, and without fear or favor, working with national and international partners to prevent Liberia from becoming a transit point for illegal drugs or a safe haven for criminal networks. Let me be clear, this campaign is deliberate, coordinated, and unrelenting. It is intended to defend the Liberian people, protect the Liberian character, and safeguard our nation's future. This national campaign against drugs and organized crime is not directed at any individual, party, or political movement. It is directed at the conduct, and thus it is directed at conduct that threatens safety, stability, and future of Liberia in recent days. The arrest and detention of former Vice President Joe Howard Taylor has understandably drew national and international attention. And I say that again. President Joe Howard Taylor has understandably drawn national and international attention. And I assure every Liberian, our regional neighbors, our international partners, and former Vice President Taylor is being treated in full compliance with the Constitution and laws of Liberia. She is presumed innocent, has access to legal counsel, and is entitled to due process, which will be upheld. The former Vice President has been arrested and charged in accordance with our legal procedures. It is not the President's role to determine guilt or innocence. That responsibility belongs to the independent justice system. Our democracy will be measured not by how we treat those with whom we agree, but how faithfully we uphold the rights of every person who comes before the law. To those who have expressed concern, I say this: your concern is legitimate in a democracy, but guilt or innocence must be determined. That must be determined by the courts, not by politics, rumor, conjecture, or public pressure. My administration would neither prosecute nor shoot anyone because of political affiliation, office status, or influence. Whether one has held high office, served in government, led a business, or lived as an ordinary citizen, the law must apply equally to all. I commend the men and women of our joint security, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, so I stopped there. We heard that the president was delivering speech. This is speech. For me, I knew from the onset, I knew this. The whole thing about the president's speech will center around, the incarceration of the former Vice President Joe Howard Taylor. But folks, in the same vein, I will play you. Let me see when I can send this video quickly to the WhatsApp there. I will play you a video because it's just, everything is centering around the whole issue about drugs. And just what the Nimba County Senator Koga said today at the Intellectual Forum is the same about drugs. So we just, we'll just include everything and just talk about it. We'll first start with the president's speech. So the president says, the former vice president has been given due process, and everything that's been done is in conformity with the Constitution, in relation to laws of the country and all of that. So for those of you who I say it's a wish home, blah, 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 it's not a wish home, and the justice is not about political party, which one of the party you come from, and XYZ. It's not about the kind of individual your status in society, but it's about justice. Granted, those were some of the things he said. I just read it, and I think you're following it up, right? Yes. And we'll discuss that paragraph by paragraph. Then, not just discussing it paragraph by paragraph, after the discussion, paragraph by paragraph, then we will look at the happenings. The happenings. They say actions, actions speak louder than words. Somebody could say, yes, I will do the best. But verbally, they could be saying different things while their actions is doing something else that's contradictory to what it's saying. They could say, yeah, we'll dispense justice. But how are we dispensing justice when our actions, our actions are saying or telling different things when our words is also saying different things? Our words, we are expressing ourselves. We are saying, yes, we will dispense justice. But what is being demonstrated through actions is contrary to what is being said. And that's why we are noticing right now. We will continue to say this, that we are not, nobody is against justice. Everybody will want to pray for justice. And every good democratic state will always pray for the protection of the rule of law. And that protection of the rule of law carries justice. Justice is embedded. The rule of law is about justice. The dispensation of justice. That's the rule of law we're talking about. Nobody will be against. But in a case where almost we have several persons who have been accused in relation to trafficking, importation, criminal conspiracy, and all of that. And we are seeing some of the folks are languishing. Some of those people who are allegedly connected to this whole drug thing, up till now, they are yet to be arrested. Why? When you see people are complaining and people are saying that if the government is witch hunting people from the opposition bloc, they are speaking from experience. They are actually speaking from experience. Since this government came to power, this Buaka's government, since this government came to power, bulk of those people who have been arrested and incarcerated at the Monrovia Central Prison are people from the opposition. Are they not people from the opposition? They are people, yes. They are people from the opposition bloc. Funatikova was speaker, sitting speaker. Funatikova, sitting speaker. When that arson case took place at the Capitol building, this government took police officer there. They beat on people. They humiliated people. They disgraced people, sitting lawmakers. They even prevented them from entering their offices, for having access to the grounds of the Capitol building. It was this government. They incarcerated Funatikova. Funatikova was invited to the police station. A sitting speaker. And by then, the highest arbiter of justice, the Supreme Court, had rendered a judgment that yes, Funatikova remains the legitimate speaker. The only thing Funatikova was suffering from is to have what is called quorum. The number of lawmakers, that are supposed to make up a quorum so that they can be able to discuss issues. That was the issue. So the Supreme Court said Funatikova still remains the legitimate speaker of the House. There were one group of people said they could not work with Funatikova, so they would not sit on they wouldn't sit on a gavel, right? Yes, they wouldn't sit on a gavel, honor his authority as speaker. They would not work with him. But Funatikova was still legitimate speaker. And the government said the executive, after the Supreme Court came out with that issue, with their judgment, the judgment that was rendered, the Supreme Court, what did the executive say? What did the executive say? The executive said they will not work with Funatikova. They want to work with their own speaker. And the speakership is about election. So whether you want to work with this president, and the president is not the legitimate speaker, the person was not elected, because it's those lawmakers in their own chamber go to election and elect their leaders, the speaker, the deputy speaker, and they are elected for 10 years until that particular thing is expired. Or maybe something else, maybe they did something and they have to recuse themselves. That's the only way. Then they step aside. That's the only way maybe the deputy speaker will preside. If there's an issue, that calls for the recusal of the speaker, then the deputy speaker will fill in that gap until that issue can be resolved. These are, everything has been guarded by law. Everything has been guarded by law. And they sent people there. They took Funati, they jailed Funati. Who was the next person again that came for the opposition? It was Maswell, former Minister of Foreign Affairs. In a solid rest issue, they grabbed Kimiya again. They jailed him at the Monrovia Central Prison. They grabbed Samuel Twe. Samuel Twe, he didn't go to jail, right? No. They grabbed Twe. They said Twe took all the money, like economic sabotage case and all of that. Samuel Twe, they took Samuel Twe to court. Samuel Twe won the case. They said they're not satisfied. They want to make sure that Samuel Twe is wrong by all costs. Samuel Twe was vindicated. He was acquitted. The jury, they decided, they came up with unanimous decision that yes, we are going through the case. We have listened to the merit of the case. We're not seeing anything yet. There's no merit in the case to indict Twe. So the jury came out with that unanimous decision to acquit Twe. Then the government said, no, they not agree. They do not agree. They do not agree. Then what is the justice? When the court has said, yeah, this man is not wrong. This man is right. The case you brought here, there's no merit in the case. We have investigated the case. We have gone through the case. Nothing we can see against this man. This man is free. And the other part, the government says they want to make sure that Samuel Twe goes to jail. They want to overturn that judgment, that acquitted, that decision by the jury. They brought all kind of stuff until today. They're still dragging. I think there was a rate of prohibition file. Twe again, that one is still unresolved. Jewel. They grabbed Jewel. They said Jewel is allegedly linked to, cartel. The 3 foreign investors that were introduced by Bashiru County to Jewel when she was vice president, 2021, 2022. She said she received money from those people. So on the basis of receiving money from those people, other contribution to a foundation, so she's connected. And they said they have video, whatever evidence recording, and people, the person. And they took that lady with the fire. And this is my point, folks. We are all Liberians. And I will continue to say this. Nobody is against justice. But when you see people are complaining about, the justice is not okay, the justice system is not right, it's because the way things are proceeding. Because when people are, investigating cases, that most of these drugs-related cases, people are analyzing them based on treatments that have been given to some of those people who are allegedly connected to the drug issue. The reason why people are saying the government is witch hunting, because there are others who are getting different treatment in relation to the same offense, the same drugs offense. And you can't be part of the same, offense that I'm allegedly, connected to. That's why I say allegedly. Then you are getting different treatment while I'm getting different treatment. Maybe I'm being, incarcerated and I still see you passing around and nothing is being done to you. Then that's when people come in to say the government is not serving justice. The government is selective. The government is shielding. The government is protecting certain people while the government arresting people. Then it becomes a witch hunt because it's not holistic. Because everything the government does, if it is holistic, it is inclusive. That yes, once you are, allegedly connected, all of you have the same treatment, you'll be arrested, blah, 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 blah. You'll be called for questioning and you'll be charged subsequently. Like in the case of Jewel, the very day she was invited at the LMP headquarters for questioning, that very day, Jewel was charged. From person of interest, Jewel became, she transitioned. It was so fast. From person of interest, she transitioned straight to suspect. Taken to the hospital. From the hospital, her first appearance in court, she had to go to and the South Beach, the Morovia Central Prison, and she will be spending her second night there. Then Joseph Barker comes out to say Jewel is presumed innocent until all of the allegations leveled against her proven incompetent court of jurisdiction. Joseph Barker didn't stop there. He said, in fact, the government fight against drugs is not selective. It's not on the basis of political party, which political party you come from. We listen to that. But why Jewel The very day Jewel was called, abruptly for questioning. That very day, after following the questioning, that very day, Jewel got charged. Charges quick. Charge 11 against Jewel. That very day, police custody until she got ill. In police custody before be taken to the Gomez Medical Center. For Gomez, after spending a few days in Gomez, trying to respond to treatment and all of that, from there, when she made her first appearance in court, appealing to the judge, whether the judge is clocked with the authority or the judge isn't, whether it is the Attorney General, which is the Minister of Justice, because the Minister of Justice is the Attorney General. Yes, of the country, right? That is clocked or that has the authority to grant, compassionate, stuff and what have you. To have compassion or something like that. What have you? Yes. But a lawyer pleaded for compassion because from all indications, this lady has worked for this country. Everything she has worked for has been invested here in terms of properties, of family, everybody, they are right here. I don't think Jewel has any means of leaving this country. She wouldn't. Because it's going to be difficult. If Jewel should leave this country, then, it will, she wouldn't be doing anything right for herself because it would send the kind of picture that, in fact, she escaping. Yeah, that's true. Everything they say, people will say that's true. People will say that's true. Because the woman want to escape, but she want to leave the country. It's like what the government is saying that's true. That's why the woman want to escape. Because Jewel would not want to do also. The only thing, if you have done the right thing, by just calling that lady, yes, leave maybe one day ahead. To say, oh yeah, you are invited at the LMP headquarters for questioning. She would have gone there to answer. The same thing you wanted to do, or the same thing you did to her, you could still do it to her. She will not escape. But on the basis of her health status, why couldn't you have that compassion? The woman was not well. The woman has serious health issues, suffering from asthma, high blood pressure, and something like that. This woman has worked for this country for too long. Where does she have to go? This is where expediency comes in. We do agree. Sometimes legality opposes. Legality could say, or will say maybe, it doesn't speak to legality. But I think legality and expediency should work in line. I think there are similarities between, expediency and legality. Sometimes things may not be legal, but it could be expedient. Then in the case of Fonantikova, for practical example, the removal of Fonantikova as speaker was not legal. It didn't speak to legality. But Fonantikova resigned based on expediency. For the sake of the country. So he would have said, until those opposing me, until they can get, the required numbers to get me, out of here, I will remain here. And if I should remain here, what's going to happen to the country? Then it means the country now, the activities in the country, business will not be done. Everything will come to a standstill. Everything will come to a standstill. Issues that are supposed to be national issues that are supposed to be discussed will not be discussed. If there should be budget, maybe from the executive, communication sent from the executive, all branches of government to the legislature, to have those issues, legal instruments and peruse and discuss in chamber is going to be difficult. So the whole country will have been at standstill. So Fonati said, yeah, it is expedient. Why it is true, it does not speak to legality, but it is expedient that I resign for the sake of my country. He did the honorable thing. So the court will have used expediency that it is expedient that this lady shall serve this country. Former deputy governor, former first lady, former senator, former vice president. I think it is expedient. Since she's not well, yes, we could have compassion. Maybe she can be kept at the hospital there, ongoing treatment until her indictment, and she can come back here. She'll be leaving the hospital, coming for a trial and all of that. You think it was not necessary? It was not expedient? It was expedient. They would have done so. But they didn't do so. They didn't do so. And today she's there. She's spending her second night there. I don't know how long, like I said last night, I don't know how long, because the first appearance she made in court was about that first appearance was intended for the court. They say the court to establish whether, there are probable cause. There are, evidence. The evidence are strong enough that they can be able to go through the case. So that was the intent of the first appearance, to establish whether there are probable cause. Whether the court, based on the evidence submitted by the prosecution, based on those pieces of evidence submitted by the prosecutor to the court. Because before the court goes through the case, they will first have to test your evidence, test the authenticity of the evidence, how you obtain the evidence and all of that. They will have to test all of those things. Then, when they are strong enough, then probable cause has been established right there. When they are strong enough, then you can go through the full trial. So they tested all of the evidence. That was the first appearance she made. And the court said, yes, they can work with those evidence. Yes. So that's the next thing now. So we'll do the preliminary hearings, then we'll file that case. That case will either go to the criminal court. Yeah, I'm sure the criminal court has, jurisdiction, because there are some cases, the lower court, the subordinate court will now have they will do pre-trial hearing and all of that. But when the case reaches at some extent, at a certain level, they will have to transfer it to the appropriate court to have the jurisdiction of hearing that case. In the case of, the drug issue, will have to go to the circuit court or criminal court, circuit court that year for hearing. So the subordinate court now will do all of the formalities, set the stage for the hearing, then they forward the case. So that's where we are. But these are things happening in the country. And people are now beginning to understand that when we talk about selective justice, these are things that happen in the country. Why is Joshua, you listen to Koga today, Samuel Koga went to Zio. And let me see what I can play that video. Why these people, Fitzgerald Biako, who was, IT DEA director, was investigated by the Ministry of Justice in relation to the whole drug issue. And they say he received pickup from the cartel. And as part of, the report, as part of their funding, the funding from the Ministry of Justice, what did they say? They say after the president told them again under 48 hours to submit to investigate a report to the president's office. What did they say? They said the only thing they found, they didn't see him, trafficking or importing drugs, but they saw ethical transgression. And what was that ethical transgression that led to his dismissal and indefinite suspension? What was the ethical transgression? The ethical transgression was the pickup he received from the cartel. Since then, has the government called Biako back for further, interrogation and all of that? No, they haven't. They haven't. They have not called him back. What's the guy? The deputy director for operations, Patrick Kumanzu, again got suspended. Today, investigation still ongoing. The government is yet to invite them. Leroy, the owner of private bar, they said Leroy was in jail. How did Leroy escape jail? Nobody knows. So why the rest of the people? Why are they? What is the government doing? Jojo, the president's son, was mentioned by cartel. People went live. And Jojo acknowledged that, yes, he knows those people he interacted with them. It was authentic. Today, Jojo is yet to be called by either the Ministry of Justice or the Joint Security Team for questioning when it was so glaring. For questioning. Then Joseph Walker tells us this evening in his address that it's not selective. In fact, Dua has, right to a legal team, blah, blah, blah. Yes, I agree. But why are those people not being called for questioning? What is preventing them? What is stopping them? Why is the government not calling them? Bola Dean, the men are saying he received instruction to go to escort the drugs. These are not key people that's supposed to be called? Are they not key? They're not supposed to be called for questioning? Eh? Bola Dean, the man who carried a huge quantity of drugs, escorted the drugs in government car, in police vehicles. Police escorting drugs with serene with escort, so that nobody gets on the way. Because whenever people hear serene, they know that, more especially police escort, they know that good thing. Because they know police are not noted, or they are not known for escorting drugs. So any you hear this, or you see the police escort, or you hear the serene blowing, maybe that's something like gas, others are something like diplomat in the country, something like that. But to see police using the police LMP, Liberia National Police car to escort George Bola Dean, escorted the George, and today Bola Dean is all passing around here. Why are you not calling him? Let's see Bashiru County Mayor, who allegedly introduced the 3 investors, the 2 Croatians, and the 1 Ukrainian to Jua as investors. Where is Bashiru today? We are getting information in fact, Bashiru has been granted the leverage to import rice in the country. The government, why will you be, investigating Bashiru? As because Bashiru cannot be left out of the case. Because of the Bashiru, who has been alleged of introducing the 2 Croatian and the 1, Ukrainian as investors, ranging from how do you call it? Ranging from 2021, hello. Yes. So why now? Bashiru now we hearing. That's what I'm saying. It is alleged that Bashiru County now the government has granted him that permit to import rice. Men that play key role in the whole drug issue. What a name everywhere you go. So Bashiru County is allegedly connected to the whole drug issue. In fact, we're hearing. So is the government not shooting some people? The government is shooting some people. Why are they arresting other people? Why the government not calling them for questioning? They will come to the whole thing. Like some of the things the government said that, Jua, one occasion she received, I think, 15,000. Another occasion she received 45,000. Another occasion, again, she received 75,000. For maybe 75,000 for the Jua Starfish Foundation. And, another 15,000 that's the sponsored trip to, what's the country name? A sponsored trip to Dubai. 15,000. For God's sake, man, tell me. For God's sake, tell me. Jua Howard Taylor has worked for too many years. So all the money, if you sum up all of the monies that, the 15,000, 75,000, almost 45,000, maybe it's something around 130,000 plus. How much is 130,000 plus? Jua has worked for several years. She served as deputy governor at the Central Bank of Liberia. At the time, she was first lady. She was serving as first lady, at the same time serving as deputy governor for Central Bank. She served those positions for several years. She became senator for 2 terms, 9 years each. She exhausted her first term. She exhausted the first 9 years as senator of Bone County. She entered her second 9 year. She completed some years in her second term until she decided to join the CDC in 2017 to contest as vice president. And that's when her position became vacant. When she won as vice president. Vice president, you are operator of own budget to operate of office. Something around $2-3 million. The budget of the vice president. You are just left that position. How many years since she left? It has been how many years since you have left the vice presidency? It's about 2 years plus, a little over 2 years. So all those years you went for how much? 100 and some more thousand. You talking about 300 and some more $1 million jobs. Everything you are is really part of it. You in the center, you are come on. Gosh, folks, are you serious? You believe that drug, knowing that she's really part of the whole drug issue? 300, because if you add the 19 million and the 317 million, I was in the 330 some more million you're talking about. So all the money on my weapon, so you're telling me, say, how much 15,000? So if she was really part of the whole drug issue, like 15,000, how much 75,000 for Jewel? All those years she has worked. How much 75,000? How much 45,000? So like the money they said Jewel received for the people. 15,000. Are you serious? Are you kidding me? Are you serious? Or Jewel who have worked for all those years, who just left out? They don't say, oh, maybe the woman said she left government about 12 years and 13 years, so she broke. She's still having some international engagement. She's still working with international partners. There are people who are supporting our foundation, the Jewel Service Foundation, because they are responsible. They are, providing scholarship, trainings for adolescent girls. They are international people she's working with. So how about 130 some thousand? That all those years from 2021 to 2022 up to 2026, they said the last 15,000 were given in 2026. 2026, are you kidding me? Are you serious? What is that amount that you think Jewel will go for? So these are things people are looking at. They say before the government is making mockery. The government, this is a complete distraction. It's a complete distraction. And you were so serious, government, you are part of the evidence. You say you received 35,000, you received 75,000 for the Jewel Staffing Foundation, you received 45,000. Is Jewel really being part of this? Not just part, but when I say part, maybe you could have a group, and there are people who are part, but those people are maybe just on the fence. They are not ready. They do not ready form an integral part of that organization or that group. When I say is Jewel ready part, whether knowingly or unknowingly, perhaps maybe unknowingly, somebody went to do donation to a foundation and she will not refuse it. Eh? Well, to say whether she's ready in the Epic Center to form an integral part of it, then she'll be receiving the kind of peanut money, that money there for just money. A big person who will use our contact, everything to get this one working, because our contact, you have to use that money. That the government, is that evidence? And they say, oh, she received 15,000, she received 75,000 for the Jewel Staffing Foundation. That the evidence. So all the money Jewel have worked for, if each want to just business, like that kind of money Jewel will go for. When we see people there were escorting jobs, tell them to go to the airport to come by giving them 10,000 as packaging. Then Jewel, what you say she part of it, you charge her for importation, she part of the importation, the exportation, so she part of the importation, importing the jobs and exporting it. Then you think that the money there, that money she will receive, you will not be talking, because I expected the government would have been talking about maybe you will receive 1.5 million, or the three nationals who have been charged also in absentia. Those three nationals who are charged in absentia, maybe they gave Jewel 1 million to a foundation. It's about big, because just associated with big money. Most especially for people who have worked that far, like you are. Then you say that he's a 175,000, receive 15,000 to support a trip to Dubai. So Jua is connected. Are you serious? It's no surprise why people are not believing at Jua. And people have been studying, people have been following Jua's track record. She has a very clean track record. So everything, Mr. President, you saying here, the speech you deliver, you are saying different things. But what is happening right now is quite different from what you are portraying. What is being portrayed is different from what you are doing or what you are saying. And the whole drug issue, all those people who are being allegedly connected to the drug, the people that started, there were people, in fact, they arrested before Jua, someone they're still passing. That Jua in prison. Some of those people, nothing has been done. Absolutely nothing has been done. That Jojo Boaka and passing all around here. So what? They are untouchable? Are they above the law? Then Joseph Boaka telling us just even in his speech that nobody is above the law. Nobody. Absolutely. Nobody is above the law. If nobody is absolutely above the law, why those people have not been brought to justice? Why those people have not been called for questioning? Some of those people who are allegedly connected to the whole drug issue. Why only a few people you are picking up? Why only a few people you are arresting? What is going on in the country? Is that how we are going to fight drugs? Because if that's the way and we are going to fight drugs, how are we going to succeed? How are we going to succeed? The fight against drugs should be holistic. It shouldn't be selective. I know. The former vice president will have this in court. If the need be, she will be exonerated. It is to the court. So it is the government now has a responsibility to present the evidence they say they have. But it's so disgusting. Jua being part of, she's most especially the whole drug issue, the epic center, she's been part of a charge for importation, exportation, money laundering, criminal conspiracy, all about 7 different charges, only one lady. And they cited 3 instances that all the drug importation, exportation, they say she received 15,000. She received 75,000. She received 45,000. The total money, if you sum up everything, gave you 150,000 US. Hey man, for God's sake, man, are you serious? Somebody who really politics, somebody who making a thing to carry in the country, making it to leave in out of the country. Hey man, huh? That the money she received, that the money the government know about she received. So they say Jua, part of Johnson is carrying the lady around. All around here. Dragging the whole thing. It's not a surprise anyway, folks. We saw the thing. The people, they think about the United Party people, they follow lies. We saw it when Sambatua was not in this country. They say a lot. They lied onto it. Oh, Sambatua took money. Sambatua, the people entered this country covered. The people damaged the country. They entered the bank. Sambatua did that. Sambatua did. Yeah, they say a lot. He did this. He did that. They say a lot about Tue. When Tue was in the country. And most people say, in fact, Sambatua will not come. He will not return to the country. The very day Sambatua will enter the country, Sambatua will go to jail for a lifetime, blah, 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 blah. They say a lot. The UP force were there. And I'll tell you, that why Sambatua not coming, Sambatua will not come to the country. They say a lot. Tue entered the country. He went through investigation. He was taken to the court. He won his case. So it's not a surprise. The United Party people, they are full of lies. They are noted for lies. They can lie. They can say things. They can defend it. They lie on to one, and they say, then I agree. They must win by force. Court Bene, they say court process now, you must win by force. When you're not right, the court will not make it right. The court is not for a baker to make your case right. The court does not help to make people's case right. The court is neutral. Eh? So don't say I will go to the court. The court will help me to fix my case. That's why when you are going to the court, you should be prepared. Consult your lawyer or lawyers. Let them look at your case. Maybe if you want to file a lawsuit, make sure your lawyers call them because they understand the legal ramifications. They understand the laws. They don't tell you what you need to do. The court does not face case. Government. You're not the first government to lose case. CDC government were here. Not because they were in power, then they will weaponize the court. That yes, by all costs, any case that go down to the government should win it. No, then that's not cool. Then because if that happens, or if it happens, if it happens like that, then it means we're not operating court. Then it means that's not court. Because it's not justice. Now, any case the government sends to the court, by all means, the government should win that case. Then it means that's not court. Then we are not operating, obviously. Then we are not operating court. Government, when their case is right, it is right. When your case does not have no merit, the court will automatically, automatically chunk it out. Because no merit, perhaps the evidence you presented, evidence is weak. It can substantiate the claims. They will throw it out. So you went to court with 12 again, 12 won your 12 beat your all the scene. You say 12 took millions of dollars. Nothing you could prove. You say a lot about CDC. CDC people took money. Until today, you are struggling to prove all of those allegations. And you want to make sure to win all the cases, whether it's right, whether it's wrong. When you are wrong, you are wrong. The court not make it right. And that's the case with 12. Because you are wrong and you want to win the case, by all means, you will overturn the judgment. Go back again for retrial. No. That's wrong. We can politicize the court. You can politicize the court. You can weaponize the court. The court is neutral. The court can never be under the influence of the executive. That's why we have 3 separate branches with different functions. We have the legislature. We have the judiciary. We have the executive. They have their role. They have specific role to play. How can the executive go to the judiciary and want to dictate to the judiciary? I want this to happen. Whether it is in conformity with law or not. But because I'm the executive, I want it to happen. No, the executive does not dictate. The executive doesn't dictate to the court, to the judiciary. They make decisions based on laws. Their actions are guided by laws, the court, not by the executive or even the legislature. That's why they are there. The priest of the high court, they are the priests, the associate justices, and the chief justice, they are the priests. That's why the Supreme Court is the final arbiter of justice in the country. Their decision can never be influenced and should not be influenced on the basis of political convenience. On the basis of 2029 election, that the more cases the government will win, the more the liberal people will believe that the government is fighting justice, the government is fighting corruption. Because if you do so, if you go to the court with that mindset, that means you want to politicize the whole justice system. Now let's do it. Even if they're not right, let's twist it some kind of way. Let's do some kind of thing just to make them wrong. The court does not work like that. Because the more wrongs we have from the opposition, Then the model that people believe in was 2029. No, the code does not work under pressure. The code does not work based on political convenience. The code does not work based on political dividend. What's going to happen 2029? Because we want for United Party to win election 2029. So we're in that all of the opposition, we will incriminate them. We'll make sure to convict them. They will be convicted. Whether they're wrong or right. Where the wrong will make them, what the right will make them wrong because they're from the opposition, just to keep them behind bars. No. That is completely authoritarian. Authoritarian. That's been vindictive. We will talk about complete totalitarianism. Authoritarian, totalitarianism. Is that right? Is that good for our democrats? Is that good for our country? And there's no substance in the president's speech. The speech he just delivered, no substance. Everything he's saying in the speech is just backward. Everything is backward. Everything the president said in his speech. Like, bro, faces serious challenges, but we are making deliberate progress through the hours. Deliberate progress. What is that deliberate progress that the government is making? Few days ago on social media, they see social media Martin Colley investigation that led to Fitzgerald Biako. The government took decision on the basis of what Martin Colley posted about Fitzgerald Biako received gift from the cartel, that great pickup. It was on the basis of that the government dismissed him and suspended for time indefinite. The very Martin and Ken Colley investigation also uncovered that Justice Minister received cars from the cartel. Gregory Como also received cars from the cartel. Why are these people still at the echelon of the investigation when they are being implicated? So what is the justice? And what a responsible government will do, those people will have to step down, they have to recuse themselves because they're being alleged. They are allegedly connected. But if I listen to the clarification from the Justice Minister, they did read their clarification. What did they say? Justice Minister said he wrote the Inspector General of Police, Gregory Coleman, because when they talk on needed, they had challenges when it comes to vehicle, blah, blah, blah. All the vehicles, most of the vehicles were, they had, mechanical fault, but there was, spoiled and something like that. So, come on. Logically, folks, why on earth? You are the boss. Why would the boss write? Is it logical? Do you see any reasoning? Do you see any sense? Do you see any idea? Why would a boss write a subordinate for help? Where do you see that happening? So where do you think Gregory budget is coming from? Where the Minister of Justice budget coming from? So the police, the Liberia National Police, is under the Ministry of Justice. So the Ministry of Justice and the Liberia National Police, who receive fat budget. The police, and we say police, now also where when Martin came said that, they receive cars and they looted. They receive cars. But Oswald Twe said they wrote the police for the vehicles. But where did the police get the vehicles from? Did you investigate, Mr. Justice Minister? But in fact, were you supposed to write your subordinate for vehicles? Instead of you, maybe if there's no, that assume that there was no vehicle or the vehicles that were at the Ministry of Justice when you took on, or when you took over a Minister of Justice, some of those vehicles were dilapidated, they were not in good condition. Who are you supposed to confront? Is that not the government, the central government? Where is Gregory working to back up for the Ministry of Justice? For use of government, because the Ministry of Justice falls under the government, and the police falls under the Ministry of Justice. So it is the Ministry of Justice. In fact, you are the one who is supposed to be, providing the logistics for the LMP. But you are so serious to tell us here you wrote Gregory to help the Ministry of Justice with that. Is that logical? For me, it's not logical. That is logically contradictory. This is insane. Completely. This is ludicrous, preposterous. Absolutely. Are you serious for Justice Minister, the Minister of Justice, to be writing police for vehicles for government, to do government work? The Ministry of Justice works for government. It is the government, central government responsibility to provide logistical support to the Ministry of Justice and not police. And those people are still there. They're still there. They are not being caught. And there are the people, in fact, they're the one investigating people. What's the credibility? Do we see any credibility? We don't. What's the credibility you think we'll see down there? You think you'll see any credibility there? What's the credibility? They say Gregory, while people dragging around that he allegedly received some gift. He allegedly received some gift, cash. Allegedly from the cartel. They see when other people have been alleged and they call them for questioning. They tell them to stand up. Why Gregory can stand up? What you think Gregory? Would there be credibility when Gregory is presiding over investigation linked to the whole drug issue? Would there be credibility when the Justice Minister is presiding over the whole drug issue? When they are being caught, when they are being trapped, allegedly, that they receive gift, when they are being compromised, allegedly? Do you see any credibility? No. Nobody trusts them. So if you want to be serious when it comes to the fight against drugs, call international people, right? International investigators, neutral people. You can have these people because the whole entire security system has been neutralized. The people have penetrated the whole entire system. Nobody is credible now. The whole security reaching from the NSA, the LMP, everywhere. The people neutralize the entire system. You know, nobody is credible. Then you have these same people. They are there, they are presiding over investigation, allegedly connected to drugs. You think any good thing will come out of the investigation? That's why most of the investigation will be sentimental. Will be sentimental, based on sentiment. And that's why people are insinuating, and they are right. With those insinuation, people will definitely, because me, I know, people will definitely insinuate. You can be allegedly connected to criminal things. You say you stole. You roll a roll. Then you say criminal investigating criminal. You can't be criminal and be investigating your friend criminal. All of you should go on an investigation. You are subject to investigation. You should be brought for questioning. You can't be criminal and be investigating criminal. So, President Bwaka, if you want to fight drugs, your fight against drugs should be holistic. You can't be shooting certain people. You can't be protecting certain people. Then you're going after people from the opposition. You're going after people from the opposition who you want to say they allege they receive penny running, or after they carry armed police officers dragging them here there. That's not fight. Your fight is not holistic. Your fight is not inclusive. You can't be shooting people. You can't be protecting certain people whose names are mentioned on the basis they are connected to the first family, they are connected to the presidency, they are connected to the executive, they are a staunch member of the Unity Party on the basis of that. No, that's not justice. We are going nowhere. Criminal cannot investigate criminal. Those people, all those who are allegedly connected to the whole drug issue, should be able to stand and make them, let them recuse themselves and avail themselves to investigation. When you think Gregor will go investigate somebody who allegedly connected to drug issues, you think that investigation will have any credibility? Yeah? You think that investigation will have any credibility? No, it won't. It won't have any credibility because nobody trusts Gregory Cuomo now. The whole country, nobody trusts Gregory Cuomo. One way or the other, they receive gift. Allegedly, then let me say that their own rescue Rambo, Marty Care College. I'm not the one who's saying it. Marty said those people receive cars. The Justice Minister allegedly received cars. The police allegedly received cars. The Justice Minister, he said he wrote Gregory Cuomo, and Gregory Cuomo gave a car to them. I know what Gregory Como, what kind of connection Gregory Como get to be giving car now to justice ministry? Hey boss, giving car to hey boss. They supporting the giving car, but then the government rich. If the police actually can buy a car for a boss, for an official duty, imagine, then the country is rich. You think, well, yeah, look at this disjointed statement, contradiction everywhere. Everything they say, justice minister saying they got the car from the other, company. The police RG saying they got the car from the nothing. You can sense the confusion. Just saying all that statement, disjointed contradiction. When God wanted to expose people, because God will make you confused until you don't know what to say. We are getting there. That's why they just saying all kind of tabata, all kind of confusing. Also, to saying different thing. Gregory Como saying different thing. The other people on the side saying different thing. Nothing corresponding to tell you that they have put too many lies together to just make a case against people. To just make a case. Nothing corresponding. How you say you got car, the vehicles were procured from this other company, then they're saying different company, the other American company, and people who are doing verification by sending emails to those companies to authenticate whether it's true that car. And in fact, those people, those companies that their names have been mentioned. In fact, they reply to some of those emails saying that we don't know, we don't have any idea about sending car to Liberia, to police or the justice minister. No, we can't remember. So what is happening in the government? So what kind of investigation going on? Okay, and we can't continue to live like this. This country belongs to all of us. If any bad things happen in this country, if any bad thing happens in this country, all of us will feel the pinch. We will go through it, we'll feel it. While it's true that some of us were kids during the 14-year civil war, yes. But when we got to know ourselves, we know what our parents told us. That's why there's a saying that says, people who seem to forget their history are bound to repeat the same thing. They are bound to repeat their action. Because history reminds people. History teaches people. History teaches lessons. History reminds people. Because if you are going astray, history will tell you, remember, so and so time, 1979, 1980, so and so thing happening in Liberia. And what led to those things happening? It was because of this thing that happening. Then you come to yourself. You correct yourself right away, because maybe certain action happened in 1979 in the West Riot. It led to maybe this. It led to that. It led to too many different things. Maybe the coup d'etat, all kind of things. So when people are proceeding, in conformity or in relation to those actions that led to war, then they get reminded by history. I didn't see any brought war into the country. That's why history is so key. History is so important in everything that you do. Read your history, follow up on your history, because it will teach you. When you're going off track, it will guide you. It said, don't do this. If you do this, it will bring war, because people did it before and it brought war to Liberia. Because if you keep doing it, it will bring war. What has our history taught us? Too many great things, but people are not listening to it. So if we don't follow our history, we will definitely repeat our past, and we don't want to repeat our past. That's why we got to be careful. Let's go to the line. We are getting there. We'll get there one day. We'll not give up. We'll continue to fight for this country. Let's go to the line and get your calls. 0772 23 99 33 0 777 98 03 75 0886 30 44 97. Let's go to the line and pick up your calls. Hello.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening. What's your name?
My name is Opa. Yeah.
Go ahead. Let's hear you quickly. No time.
Yeah. So why the president is speech, but what is different down there for people to listen to the city? This is what the president has said.
Bro, I'm getting a very terrible feedback. I know you have to listen.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm getting you. Go ahead.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. I say, notice string that the president said down there again, my brother. One of the things that drew my attention for him to say the internet, because of the arrest or joy, it has drawn the international community or attention. He should be very careful with his own word that he said. Because the wrong thing you do, that what made people attention to be drawn. You got to cartel, you got to everybody around you. You're not even going any of them. And then you go before start taking people from the woods during for 2022. Is it a justice you are carrying on? That the president of know about law. And one of the things he say again, President Water, for those that are advising him, they should know that water will not live for 200 years. I don't care what they do. They arrest everybody from George Weah. The common people will vote for George Weah to win. So their attention shouldn't be moving on such a thing like that. But they come on, they sitting down there, brother. They know every day. I don't know what they would advise to the party here. That's story the government the year. So he just said, do the man speaking, just K2 students, all the things he read, they're not listening to it. What the F on the other statement coming back to the same statement again. What is three days he said today? Yeah, thank you so much. Hey, Nito. Thank you very much. Nito, I'm Spencer Mohammed, and I call from Town Coast Borneo, White Town Community, a member of Concerned Nigerian for Justice. Look, I think President Waka had just made it clear that the illegal detention of Madam Joy Howard Taylor has drawn the concern of the regional leaders. That's why he's under pressure to have come up with a statement. President Waka, what's wrong or why is it so difficult for you to call for an independent investigation? It's just simple. We saw it one last year when President Weah government was being accused about this 15 billion. What did President Weah do? He invited international investigation. What's so difficult for you to do the thing? Why are you cheering when your son need is being called, President Waka? President Waka is doing the needful. Even when your government authorized the transportation of the drugs across our country, from bombing to Colorado, yet you are still here talking about investigation would not be impartial. President Waka, you are now becoming serious embarrassment to the Nigerian people. Expo 2029, we thank you for your glossy competence. Thank you very much.
This is my sister. I'm calling from Clarendon to name my son.
All right, man, go ahead.
Thank you for the show. Yeah. So we ask you a question to the government. What's going on? Where is Biako? Because we ask this question. Where is Johnny? Where is Johnny? Then somebody told me to carry that job and escort that job. Where is that man? The question. Do I want to come on now? No, she's not even no more. She left 3 years now. We're talking about. So the internet was escorting job to the airport with police. Hello? Hello? Yes. Yes, sorry, hello? Yeah. Okay, so what I'm saying is that the government said to us, that's what fear to the people. They're not fair to us. They are selected justice too much. Everybody saying that in the whole world. Even Liberia, but they're not fair in adjustment. They're not fair. All of need our call. But get come. What's going on? Oh, get see that in the small life. Oh, get here. Oh, get see that going forward to the court. A prosecution. And so they're talking about our teller. Who left government ever said? They want to watch your record. Maybe the students and tell them, let's go there and get a record. Let's get a record. Let's get a straight here. They say the guy put in the court of investigating. That one a brother lie. Somebody here investigating. And they say investigation. What is Waka's son? What the person doing there? They follow me. They also carry in the police. They carry and they carry to it to 8,000. What's going on? All needs that come out. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, my sister. Thank you, the generalist who you there. Let's move to the hello. Hello? Hello? Hello. I'm not getting this person on the call. Let's move to the next line. I'm really not getting this person. We have to move to the next. Hello.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening, Anita.
Yes, good evening. What's your name?
My name is Philip Boso Nito. I call for my resident in Conference City this evening.
Yeah, go ahead, cook the no time, my brother. Let's hear you.
Nito, you said it all. I just listened to the press release from the president, Mr. Bwaka. And the issue of the entire judge, Mr. Bwaka is making a caricature of the whole entire justice. Look, there are a lot of news. There are people that have evidence. You have evidence on. They are, being princess of the cartel, including the chef Bashir guy, who the government issued activity to implement this country. All the news, where are they? Where are they? For the government come on to be fighting jobs on a one-sided basis. But we can assure Mr. Bwaka, if Mr. Bwaka don't want to govern well, the people will stand up to him. Enough is enough. And everything Bwaka do, Bwaka will pay it right after 2029. Thank you for having me.
Hello, Nito. Yeah, I'm Uncle Pape calling for Oslo City Grand Bassa County, concerned like for justice. Nito, my parent here, Bwaka, I don't understand Bwaka. Call them my soul. The $10 million that I was given to Bwaka is what I gave for the cartel. It's a lie. Bwaka knows very well that he was to fight Joe. His son, Jojo, he was in voice, and Jojo told us that yes, he communicated with the people. Up to now, they didn't call him yet. Where they just came from Junction Town all the way to Dwatson. Who escorted the judge? No, they don't call that person yet. The traffic director said that he was mandated by a boss to kill the judge on the airport. After killing the judge on the airport, they were arrested there. Where are the people that you see the judge? The little boy who Gregory Common said that Emmanuel he told Emmanuel, said, Emmanuel, go. And Emmanuel was to transport me for the judge. Where is Emmanuel? Because of drought, looking for MPP, join CDC, and what today she in jail for Bwaka. This is la bro. This la bro is not for you alone. It's opportunity you get. That for today. For tomorrow, the thing do your children will bear it.
Hello. Yeah, hello. Hello, I'm getting you. What's your name?
Yeah,
My brother, go ahead. Let's hear you quickly.
I also Baka. You get it, party. The other Labia, the boyfriend. You want that to all. The first I told me, what I want to do, that your son, the one that side of what your son needs, is taken away. That one is all set there. Then we're walking on. If you want to allow people there, please get our children for our peace. You get peace. I want to talk to the Sabi, you know what we saw you. Yeah, but let me tell you, then we are what you're looking for. What you can get out one way. No, my brother will carry along. Thank you, my son.
Thank you. Thank you, man. Thank you for sitting in for July. Let me say, let me express my condolence to him and let him take heart. The law is in control. Nito Bwaka is walking contradiction. It's an old man that is not serious, and he don't even know what he can be reading. They can just read it and give it to him. What pleases the guys, what they want to put up there,
That's why he go and sit and read. But everything he read or he put up there, it is a complete contradiction. So we will not accept that. Because, but one thing he said in his speech that I admire, he acknowledged the fact that he has been pressured by both international and nationally. He has been pressured. So he was forced because of the pressure to release that statement. He said he can restore confidence in the Liberian people or the international community that have pressure in. But that statement, it is an empty statement. Because if you tell us that you are not doing it because of political party or where you come from, that's what you are just doing. Okay? Your own song. If that statement that came from the cartel, if that was the opposition or any other person, that day was not going to end. That person was going to be picked up by the police because it is very clear. And then the city, the guys still in their video, the president can and confirm all. So let's talk out there. Where is it stopping this government for inviting the president's son for investigation? What is it because he's the president's son? So when you are president's son, you should trade drugs and then you should be like God. Okay? So it is clear that you are being political. You feel say people that are around you, they should be protected. And the only reason why you are protecting them, because they know you and your son clandestine deed. Because if you guys were not involved, you were going to make sure that the police RG, that Biako, that Johnny Buladin, who received the $10,000, he bought to $8,000, gave you $2,000, Kwabo. This is the opposition that I have been protected by now. Whether because the guy got their secret, mind you, the guy who was one of the persons that escorted the drug, Kwabo, is a person to Reverend Brown, Reverend Brown from Maryland County, and he is opposition. But because Kwabo will put up their secret, they are protecting him too. Of the person, he be like go have somebody escort drug to the holy center of the person who didn't see that I'm on the army escorting him to the police station or in prison of the person they stay passing around. My understanding is that probably by and now reopen to the property. Where is Leroy? So I say Leroy is not in country. Where is he? Even the two nationals that were arrested along with the drugs. And the justice minister told us that they were carrying arms. Where did they see the deployment or ASL when they were taking there, to whatsoever they were taking there? For innocent citizens. Or lately, Madam Chue our former vice president, was humiliated, was suggested only because she spoke the truth. They need that they don't want to hear why she must say, President, we are never use me. President, we are not having me in bondage. We work together and our development out there. The only reason why we could not dedicate them, we said at the end of the campaign, we were going to dedicate our campaign and we'll go 2029, we'll tell the people what we did, and you will show what you did. That the only thing that angered these people to go to suggest that woman to humiliation. But God is not sleeping, Waka is not resting because he's been pressured internationally and locally. So that's what motivated him to come up with that empty statement that he put out to the Liberian people today. What I was saying to all of us, that keep beating them, that keep pushing forward. Don't allow them to rest. The fact remains that the senior government official, Gregory Kuma talk about, Waka need to put them informed. So Joe is not a senior government official. You say you are punishing us for 2021, 2022. Gregory Kuma told us that current government officials, senior current government officials, they are around here, you need to put them forward. Then if you do that, we will say you are putting the job of man on that. The senior government official have been let go. You are chasing opposition. And we are not going to get tired. The only thing you need to do is to define the country. Get on 7.5, get all of us, go out there, post around us. Even at that, is not going to help you because we will stay insecure your camp and making sure that the message goes forward. The fact remains that this government, this rescue government, is importing cocaine and exporting cocaine from our country. We are innocent. and we are going to be vindicated. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Elmo. Thank you so much. Let's go to the women's line. Hello.
Yeah, good evening, Nathan.
Good evening.
Yeah, so I'm calling for justice day. Never percent that went for justice.
Let's say
Nathan, thank you very much. So, Nathan, I listened to Jenna for on Central Station before I count your station. So, Nathan, the men are embarrassing the whole country. That the reason why my brother that go the he said, hey, let me tell you, the international panel and the African viewer, they are pressuring the owner here because they know the owner is making mistakes every day. That the reason we the opposition, we will see silent and we'll be watching the project. That the reason to the just against them. Then you say our former vice president, because I think we're in charge of the country now, you're not in charge again. That should be your political will be for political will be then which means you have power over your own power. Then you say the one blood and you know the book are good character. I'm saying one character, so what baga and you're embarrassed, you didn't put money. What's that? All person we are don't know what. So we know I pray money to never listen to me. When a bully your sister in now, your sister what up your sister in? And this girl I want your mother. The bonnet and your mother, the bonnet that ain't happening so. But maybe you never say I don't say so all bonnet or CDC. But CDC was only our former vice president when they calamity that you bring you love the poor they go and put that girl out and go bring criminal and go bring the Baba God in power to get a parade around here. That was to bring war in our country. But we'll hold our peace and we're going to 2 years that we need that patient. Let me tell you, when that we love country, that we don't love country. We the Silesians, we the indigenous story, we love their nation. But the people that in power, they love their nation because for God bring the cancer there that will not have it written to pay in America to try and destroy the country and flower the country and go. Then we start sharing blood, but we don't share blood. But the 2 years that we need will pay it. Come to with the cancer and the criminal like in power, so they can't destroy our country. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Hello.
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 Yeah. Nathan, are you coming?
I'm okay. What's your name?
Yeah, this is Ronnie Kiadi, 1 million reaction follower of Ivan Gossin.
Yeah, Vanny, go ahead.
Nathan, yeah, thank you for your topic under discussion. But Nathan, let me tell you today, the 85-year-old vessel woman that will get on over our country is a big embarrassment and it's a calamity for our country. The people they are in here is to destroy CDC in totally, but CDC cannot be destroyed totally. Before you destroy CDC, you should be men to stand to destroy CDC. But the government, by God power, they cannot destroy CDC. Before they destroy CDC, they will be destroyed. Because the way in which the 85-year-old is enter vessel fighting the judge, and not how to fight judge. Why will you lead the other people? And it's a plan for the cartel to all they are fighting judge, but they are not fighting judge. My brother Newton, the people are not fighting judge. Their fire is to destroy the opposition, but when they can't make it, God will bring the people down. By the grace of God, God will bring them down. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, my brother. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, folks. That's all the time we have to be here with you. And we will be here tomorrow on the Thursday edition of the program Face the Issues again to talk more about our country. So Joseph Walker, oh yeah. So the Papa said another thing I captured from his speech. He said, his government will neither persecute nor shield anybody. So because when you talk about persecution is about cruelty, is about harm, harming somebody, carrying on cruel act to somebody based on maybe the person's affiliation, like what's happening in the case of what's happening in Nigeria. That's persecution, right? Yes, that's persecution. What's happening in Nigeria with the killings of Christian by the how do you call them, the insurgent, the Boko Haram insurgent and something that that's insurgency, right? That happening in Nigeria with the Boko Haram. That's Christian persecution. That's persecution. So persecution is about cruelty, doing harm, doing bad things. So you say your government is not involved with persecution. It's not the government also not associated with shooting. But why those people? There are people who are still languishing around. There are people, you have not called them for questioning. Why is Joel being dragged out? That's persecution. Joel was being alleged, but you took armed police people. Why is AFL? Why is the AFL deploying MOA to the central prison only because a lady named Joel Howard Taylor? The only crime she commits is because she supported a woman from the slum community. Why she now support maybe the elite, the so-called indigenous, the Congo people who because I shouldn't say indigenous because the indigenous people the grassroots people from the slum communities, they are the indigenous people of this country. Is that they play in a Congo area? So why Joel must support George Weah? So if any Joel connected to Joel, the treatment will be different. You carry armed people that will drag her from here, will post everywhere, will be carrying her just a criminal. We'll carry AFL people, man, my people, for God's sake. For God's sake, man, this country. That lady who all through her life, she not even care chicken here. All the way her husband, the former president Charles Taylor, that was terrible man, but she had lived her life. She didn't mind because her husband was so powerful. If Joel would have been somebody, bad, you would have known from the regime of her husband because her husband was president. She would have used that as a means to do whatever she could because she would have done anything she could and nobody could question, nobody could ask her. Nobody could ask her. But she went through those years with all the power she had, the authority, the power from her husband's side, Charles Taylor. Who could ask Charles Taylor, say, why make it you want to? Nobody was brave to say for Charles Taylor. But yeah, she said, no, I would not mount power. I'm mount because Charles Taylor, is a president today. He's powerful. People are afraid of my husband. That I would just do anything. I would just treat people in any form and manner. All those times, Joel didn't do anything bad. She protected her character. She maintained herself all those years. Then and now, her husband not there again. And now she can't go do all that in it. You think Joel bad? We would have known. We would have known for her track record. People could start to, investigate her based on her track record. And that's where people are investigating her from, her track record. And that's why most people are yet to believe. They are yet to figure out the possibility. What's the possibility like for a Joel to be connected to just issue? Most especially importation, exportation, coming in and going out. So you drag the woman. The woman sick. Her lawyers appealed to the honorable court to have pardon. That pardon was not about she will not face justice. That pardon was about to have compassion. Pardon the court, pardon the Ministry of Justice to have compassion that she can be kept at the government's hospital. Since she has not fully recovered yet and she's an asthma patient, she can be there. Why coming for a trial until she can recover? He said, no. Is she going to escape? No. She was never going to escape. Joel will not escape from this country. Is that a persecution? That's cruelty. If he's treating people with cruelty, with harm, inhumane behavior, that's persecution. Then you say your government is not associated with persecution. Or shooting. Bola there, Biako there, all people leave on there. Why you have not arrested them? What passing? Bashiru, the very Bashiru County, why you not calling them up? Is that shooting? So, President Bwaga, everything you say is contradictory to what's happening. Your government is carrying on persecution. Your government is shooting people. We've seen it. So nothing you can say. So you have to go read. You have to go do another speech, perhaps, and maybe the next speech you'll come away will have some good ingredients. But this one is wasteful. It's worthless. is wasteful and worthless. One of the worthless speech ever delivered by the president. No substance, nothing, absolutely no substance. There's no sensitivity, nothing in the president's speech, no one sense. So everything is because of the pressure being exerted now by international people. International people. Now they're calling the pressure rising. And last night I told you, I said, you are not President Paul Kagame, the Ivorian president, and then we have Mahama from Ghana. Those three presidents, they call Bwaka personally. They say, Bwaka, you are our colleagues, you are our counterpart. But we're following what's happening in Liberia. But that lady Jewel, we have known Jewel for too many years. We don't believe she can be connected with that just issue. So we beg you, Mr. President, use your good office. You have to be careful as to how you go about it. See the president from that country, they call Joseph Bagatelle, they were speaking on behalf of Jewel. They say, we can't believe that. Those people, Paul Kagame, who have led this country for too many years. Look at the kind of development under Paul Kagame. Too many years, you have led the country. Go Uganda now. Uganda should be maybe the cleanest city in Africa, or maybe second, something like that when it comes to ranking. Go to Ghana, go honor Joe Muhammad. You can see the kind of development, huge development, speedy development. Go to Ivory Coast. Like people, those are the people telling Bwaka say, when I see something in nothing, they say, we'll have money. They are the one. All the people calling internationally. They're calling the concern. So international partner calling phone in. They are phoning in the Bwaka person calling his phone. They say, Bwaka, you got to be careful. There's a witch home. That woman is not, the way you treating that woman is not correct. They tell him the truth. That's the reason why Bwaka came out today. They can say, oh, you're not persecution, you're not cheating nobody. The law, the former vice president is presumed innocent. It is not, but everybody knows that it is not the president that determines guilt or innocence. It is the court that determines guilt or innocence, not the president. But too many interference in the judiciary. That's why people are talking about the executive. Too many interferences with the judiciary, the weaponization. Let the court operate independently. Leave the court alone. Leave the court alone. Let the court operate independently. Yes. Leave the court alone, folks. That's all the time we have. But let's keep praying for this country. This is our country will not give up. We'll continue to speak out to power. We'll continue to say the truth. It doesn't matter your status. It doesn't matter your position. It doesn't matter your political affiliation, where you come from, who you are, what are you minister. We'll continue to speak out the truth. Where the truth belongs, we'll put it there. We don't care whether you're president, whether you're vice president. We will speak the truth. We will not give up. For us, like I said, and I'll continue to say, we have already braced ourselves for this. What a rain, what a sun, what a rain will not stop us. We'll come here. We will speak the truth. We'll speak the fight. Nothing will stop us. If we not have food to eat, we will eat Gary. We'll come here. We'll look for energy by all means to come here to talk to speak with you, to interact with you. We'll drink water to come here when there's no food. Where there's no food, that's why these are sacrifices. We have braced ourselves for. We are brave. We have braced ourselves for these sacrifices. We know there will be challenges, there will be constraints. It's obvious. But we are prepared. That's why we have braced ourselves for these challenges. We'll eat whatever just to get energy to come and expose those evil people, what they are doing to our country. We'll continue to expose them. Folks, thanks. And that's all the time we have to be here with you. My name is Newton Tokba. Until we are back here tomorrow morning. And once again, let's keep our teacher Light in our prayers. He's bereaved. Yesterday, he lost his uncle. Yes. So he was unable to be here with us today. So let's keep praying for the bereaved family, the Williams family, because they are bereaved. Let's keep praying for them through these difficult times. Yeah, these difficult times of bereavement. Let's keep them in our prayers. Until we meet tomorrow by God's willing, my name is Newton Tukba. Thanks so much for being there. Thanks for your participation. And let's keep praying for our country. This is the only country we have. Let's keep fighting for this country. Bye-bye.